So in the last video we got the engine out of the bike and onto the bench. Let's get stuck in and see if we can find out the problem. So I taped up some of these ports and holes because I was going to pressure wash the engine, but I decided not to. I've managed to remove the broken stud that was in there. There was just about enough sticking out for me to get a mole grips on it. So I heated it up to start with, and then it came out relatively easily. It's a shame. Okay, so the plot thickens with the Zephyr project. I've just been running through the manual to figure out how to take the head off. So I have to take the starter motor off, take the cam chain tensioner off. Now there's another indication that has been messed about with. These bolts are different. Spark plugs have got to come out, and I have to rotate the engine to the correct timing marks, which I have, or tried to. Down here you need to line up the T marker. Now it's not the T, it's the actual marker. I'll try and put a photo in there of a close-up. And once that's lined up, this mark here, the Z7EX marker, I'm not sure you can see that with the light behind it, but I'll try to put another photo in there. That should be lined up with the casing. And that's probably about 10 degrees out, roughly. Also, this mark here, I think it says IN on it. That should be level with the casing. So the whole thing needs to move that way a bit more, but obviously that will put the timing mark out. So, possibly the reason why it's giving me low compression. If I now turn this, so it'll turn that bolt there. If I turn that until the correct marker lines up, so that's roughly where it should be. But now the T marker is miles out. So I'll just continue with the strip down and see where it goes from there. Just going to pop some tape over there to stop any shit going in it. So we also need to take the chain tensioner off. looks okay. Okay, so that's a 10mm, and the bolt underneath is a Allen key bolt or hex bolt. Okay, so two different bolts, two totally different lengths. That's definitely not the right one. I don't think that's the right one either. So with the cam tensioner off, I can now undo all the cam caps, and it says to undo them evenly. So I'm just going to start with just cracking them all off. You can note the cam caps have all got different numbers on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can put them all back on in the correct order. I'm just going to tie up the cam chain. I think I read somewhere in the manual it said not to let the cam chain fall in, as it might be difficult to retrieve or fall off any lobes in the engine. Okie dokie. Let's have a little scan around then. So looking at the cams themselves, they look in pretty good condition. I'm no expert, but there's no gouges to them. Pretty smooth in all fairness. I can't see anything untoward. As far as inside here, little bits of debris, I think it's bits of gasket just breaking off. Okay, so there's your cam buckets with your cam bucket shim. Just managed to get a bit of dirt on that. Not too worried, trying to take it all apart at some point. So there's 2 bolts on the inside of the cam chain tunnel, and they are 12mm, and there's 12 14mm bolts on the outside. So I'm going to start loosening them off a little bit at a time. I'm going to start with the inside the cam chain tunnel. Well, that's fairly loose. I don't know what the torque setting is, and that one's a lot tighter. Again, lots of signs of this has been messed about with. So that one quite loose. There's tons and tons of dirt and shit in and around these bolts. Kind of wish I cleaned it off first of all. I'm just going to get a thorough cleaning anyway, so I'm not particularly worried about it. Kind of surprised to see them being cap bolts like that. I thought they would be cap nuts. I thought there would be bolts going through. So let's have a look around at the inside of the engine and the pistons. There's bits of debris. Now they have just fallen off, obviously, when I've pulled the gasket off. The bores look in very good condition. Now, apart from that one, there's some definite marking on there. Oops, sorry, that bolt's in the way. Oh dear, dear, dear. And feels quite rough as well. Right. That's not good. So that is number 2. That's the one I had no compression out of. Well, there's marking there as well. Oh, lots and lots of marking there, look. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. That's really bad. I'm just going to pop up the house and get a vacuum cleaner so I can suck out all the debris. Then I'm going to turn the engine around, or turn the engine over, just so that I can see any other marks. I'm just going to take this old gasket off first. Now, I don't know if there are any signs on this gasket of problems, because I'm not sure how to tell. Okay, so I'm just going to carefully turn the engine so I can see what the rest of the bores look like. Okay, so in all fairness, they all look pretty good. It's just that number 2. Let me get you down there to have a better look. So you can see that one looks normal to me. Bit of carbon build-up, bit of carbon build-up, bit of carbon build-up. But this one's quite oily. Again, let's try and have a look at... Let's try and have a look at that bore. I'm trying to get a light on there for you. So in that corner there, you can see lots and lots of scoring. And why? Why would it be that way? That side, again, hard to see. I'm trying to get some light on it. Don't know if that's making it better or not. Lots and lots of scoring. So, this project could soon come to a screeching stop. I know you can hone out the bores, but this one, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, looks quite bad. And the piston itself looks, like I say, it looks oily, so it's probably leaking some oil. And I'm going to hang you back up again because I want to turn this. You can see that. Okay, there's a mark there. Let me get you back down. There's a definite mark there. Get something to point with. So just there. Get some light again. Slightly bit of light. Now I can't see because I just looked at the light bulb. So there's a definite mark there, and this is much more oily than the other ones, so suggesting that the piston is damaged. The piston rings are probably damaged, but the other three look fine. So this engine could soon be a very, very large paperweight. Let's just take a look at the head. Okay, so this side of the head looks fine. There's little bits of dirt here and there. This is number 2. Doesn't seem anything untoward. And I'm just going to take these cam followers off and put them safely. I'm just going to clean them off and then write on them which cam they're for. So I've popped numbers on each of these cam follower caps or buckets. Just going to chuck the shims in temporarily and they should be good for the moment. Okay, let's just flip this engine over, or this head over. Okay, so again, apart from a little bit of carbon, it doesn't look too bad. Again, number 2 is very, very oily. But, and herein lies the but. Why are all the other ones, all the other cylinders only giving 50 psi? I'd understand that this one's giving 0 and the other ones are giving 50, but why are they only giving 50? So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put the spark plugs back in. I'm going to fill these up with a little bit of petrol and see if they hold the petrol. Well, saying that, I don't have to use petrol, I'll use this shitty terps. Okay, so the plug's in. I'm going to put this terps or whatever it is in, fill them up and see which ones leak. Okay, that'll either leak quickly or it won't. So I'm going to put some questions out there. Why are we getting 50 psi in 1, 3 and 4? It's understandable. It's understandable if we're only getting or 0 in number 2 with the state on the piston. Could the timing being out be the reason? Could the timing being out be the reason why we're getting a poor PSI? Again, like I said many times, I'm not going to spend loads and loads and loads of money on this bike because I don't think it's worth it. So I'm going to investigate whether to hone the bore. Whether I'm going to, I don't know if you can change the sleeves on these. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to look it up. Or whether you've got to get them rebored. So I'm going to leave that for a couple of hours till the morning maybe, and see if we've still got juice in there. It doesn't seem to be leaking, but it's a little hard to tell. So in the meantime, that might be the end of this video, or it might not. I might carry on, see how it goes.